a very good afternoon to you, and welcome to another Rupal's Chatty Women. I have to point out that the mystery voice is missing, so she's not only a mystery, I've no idea where she is. So if you are on your way, hurry up. We've started. 3 topics as always to talk about. Why is being single still not acceptable, or is it? That's a topic up for discussion with my guest today. And having children, is that the be all and end all? Does that really make the woman, as it were? Your thoughts on any of the topics this afternoon? We're here for about 15 minutes or so, so love your thoughts on any of these. And going grey, are you like me, literally going grey? I'm not going to get too close to the camera, but to die or not to die is the question. Leave your comments below. Tell us that you're watching, tell us where you're watching from. Lots of love hearts and lots of likes, and don't forget to share the post as well. So I'm going to let these two introduce themselves. She is my namesake to some degree.
To some degree, missing the L and the name change.
So she is Nidhi Rupa, but we're going to call you Rupa.
Yes,
because that's what I know you as.
Yep, and as do the family. So hi, I'm Rupa, also known as Nidhi, and as Rupa said, we are namesakes, and we've known each other for
a long time.
A long time, we'll say that. enough to have seen ourselves going from normal colour to grey. So,
and I've only just met Rupa now, so
we know
each other for a while.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Anna. So I am Anna. I am obviously very Polish. I'm going grey very early. And I've been living in Leicester for 7 years, so I think we're going to have some good conversations, the 3 of us.
Calling you Dr. Wallace. Dr. Wallace.
I am doctor.
Explain that very quickly.
I've got a PhD. I have no idea how I survived it, but yes, I did. But it's different life stages now, and we're talking about children and family and all that sort of stuff.
Well, look, you're not single.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
So you get married.
You're getting married. So perhaps this question, I don't know, is this suitable for you? Is this something that we should be talking to you about? Being single,
let's be
still not acceptable. You've got a partner. You're getting married.
I do. But I need to say, my previous experience before I had a boyfriend, and from my friends, a lot of people feel like they're being ostracized because they're single. And even holidays, you're not going to go to a couple's holidays by yourself. Or even the family. I think family is the biggest pressure that people feel these days in terms of being single. So but it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be.
But have you got lots of single friends?
I do. I still do. And I think it's one of these that, the older you get, the less men available there are. So some people have a difficulty, finding that right person. Some people are happy being by themselves. But if you're not, I don't know. What do you do?
See, and that's my thing. It's. I always do find that a lot of the younger women, I'm talking sort of like below 35, will say things like that. Sorry, no offence, but they will say things like, the older you get, the harder it is to find a man. Well, actually, I don't think it's harder or that there are less men the older you get. I think it's just that when you get past a certain age and you have been single a long time, you are so used to being your own person, you're used to doing your own thing, you're very independent, and therefore you're far more selective, not picky, but selective about who you want to spend your time with.
We're older than Anna,
yes,
and I didn't get married till I was a lot older, and I got it, in the neck all the time. It's like, you're past your 30s and she's still not married, and I got all that grief, and finally when I did get married at the age of 35, it was a big deal. Oh, thank God, she's finally found somebody. We'll have her. You're not married, and we're of a similar age.
Yeah.
But do you get that? Do you get that it's not acceptable?
It depends on the people I talk to. On the whole, I've got a lot of my friends that have got married at the right age, and they will say to me, God, you're so lucky to have your life. You can go off travelling or go and do whatever you want. And on the whole, I am actually very happy living the life the way I live it.
Okay,
but
controversial question.
But I'll finish this first. But I do get from some people, oh my God, you're 47, you're not married yet. Oh no, that's it. You're never going to get married, or your life is not worth living. And that's more from sort of like my parents' friends and that older generation, because for them it was very much a, you know, you finish school, you finish uni, you get married, you have your kids, and you have your da-da-da-da, and I've not followed that path. But go on, controversial.
My question, controversial. Do you reckon that you're more likely to be successful at marriage if you get married later? If you're single for longer and you say you're more mature, you know what you want, do you reckon that you'd be more successful as a woman if you coupled up later? Controversial. Or is it better to do it early?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm mature, because I'm probably one of the most childish people I know.
Is that
my
unicorn?
I think that's a great question. It's a great
Do you
question.
know what? I don't know. I think as I've gotten older, I've become able to be more direct about what I want, as opposed to
no time wasting.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I like you. You've got great personality. I want to be your friend. Our energies don't match, but I wish you well. Goodbye. So I don't know. I mean, because I'm still not married. But what about you?
I think that's a really good question, because I've known so many people, so many friends of mine that have got married, you know, at a very early age, and wish they hadn't, because they didn't feel like they were old enough and mature enough to do so at that time. But sort of going back to why is being single still not acceptable? I think it is. I think that actually living in Britain, it is acceptable. It's not as taboo as it once was. Even sort of like within our own communities, within the Asian community, it's not seen like, you know, there were particular age groups that you were expected to get married.
Yeah.
You know,
do you think that's no longer?
It's not there. I don't think it's as bad.
But I think you need
these
to ask
days.
someone from your community who's my age and see if they get pressure.
Yeah,
because I reckon family, even in Polish community, would be the pressure.
Well. Thank you for getting in touch. If you have, Richie Collins, who says, I've been single since last year in August after being in a long-term relationship for 3 years. So does that upset you, Richie? I'd be quite interested to hear back from you on that. Patricia, Ash, joining the show, Bina, Lee, and Bhavik Arbaz, good to have you on board. And Bharat, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Bharat. Rahana. Lee says, it won't let me watch the stream. I hope that you are able to watch it now. Tony, good to have you on board. Dave didn't marry me until he was 68 and I was 52. Everything comes to those who wait. Scunchin, hello as well. Thank you for joining us as well. Keep your comments coming in. Two more topics to talk about, but feel free at any stage to jump on board, and don't forget to the thumbs up, the emoticons, etc., and share the post as well. Jamie, morning or afternoon, should I say? So that was why being single is still not acceptable. I think it is. Rupa experiences it.
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, for me, I don't know any other way of life, and I actually love my life, so I think it's acceptable. But I guess people live in boxes and they want to put you in a box, and I'd say if you are single like me and you're enjoying your life, doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, enjoy your life. That's what it's about.
You're getting married very soon.
I'm getting married soon.
In August.
Yeah.
To a lovely man.
Yes, he's quite lovely.
But look, children, is that on the agenda for you?
Well, I think it's one of these things that have been mentioned, they have been floated for sure, but not in an immediate future. I think we're both quite in the sense that, yes, children, maybe, but first let's just be our own people. And I think with the conversation we've had before, it really alerted me to how important it is to be your own person before you bring another person into the world.
So my question is having children the be-all and end-all? Is it essential, do you think, Anna, that you've got to have children to be complete as a woman, perhaps?
Well, that's the thing. I don't have the answer for you, because on the one hand, I see friends who don't have children. They're very, very fulfilled. They love their life. They're doing lots of things. They're active. But at the same time, I'm just afraid of being older and then not having that lovely family that I grew up in. So I think it's just two opposing factors, if you see what I mean. And I think as a woman, my impression is that with time, you either kind of grow into the idea of children you really want it until you reach that critical mass where you really, really want it, and that's what you're going to have. But I think we also, talked before about, when is it? Do you ever get that critical mass that you really want to have children? You will have it tomorrow, or do you not? I don't know. How was it?
But is it the be all and end all?
For me, no.
No.
It's I'd have to say, I mean, because I don't think being married equals to being a parent, because I have friends who are single that have just recently adopted. So I don't think it is the be all and end all of life, but I think it's very much down to what you feel your life, whether you feel fulfilled. Somebody shared a post earlier today on Facebook about sort of like a single woman, and that same woman living in a parallel world with children. And I tell you what, I watched that video and I thought, thank God I don't have children, because it looked like a nightmare. But the end of that video said, but motherhood has fulfilled me. And I just thought, well, A, patronising. B, that video didn't look like it was very fulfilling. Yes, having someone to cuddle, but then I have my nephews and friends' kids that I can love and cuddle and mother to my heart's content, and then say, right, have them back.
Do you know what? Sometimes I think I kind of sometimes feel like you know, I am not fulfilled because I'm not a mother as such. I'm a stepmother, but I'm not a mother. You know, I've not had children of my own. And when we got married, one of the things I said was like, no, I don't want children. I definitely don't want children. I don't want to go through the pain. I don't want to go through the 9 months and then go through labour. And the other half was fine about it. And then sort of we got married, and then I sort of changed my mind and thought, actually, you know what, I actually want to be a mum, because what happens when I'm old and grey and you know, there's no one else around, what am I going to do then?
But then, question is it selfish to only care about what you do when you're old?
Yeah. Well, this is it. But you know what? I've changed my mind again, and I'm okay with it. I think.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with it, and I don't think it is the be all and end all. Loads of people messaging as well. Thank you for getting in touch. Patricia says, mothers, i.e. me, and I know what you're like, Patricia. Pat is desperately trying to get her daughter married, and has been for a very long time. She says, mothers like me like to see their children settled. Fair enough. And on the subject of being single, Jamie says, I'm 52, single, and I'm loving it, because she's got all her animals as well.
Yeah, good for you, Jamie.
Yep.
Woman after my own heart.
Loads of people joining the conversation as well. Rabia, V, Anna, thank you all so much for getting in touch, and keep those comments coming in. George as well. George says, hi Rupes, I got married later in life at the age of 44. Now celebrated our 11th anniversary yesterday. Happy belated wedding anniversary. To you. Keep your comments coming this afternoon. One more topic then before we move on. Leslie, hi to you as well. Thank you for getting in touch. And guess who's just turned up? Our mystery voice. Yay. Do you want to shout hello? Hello? What on earth time do you call this?
I'm sorry.
You come when the party's over. Outrageous. Minal, thank you for tuning in as well. One final question then. I have to say, and the mystery voice will have an opinion on this, and I'm sure she won't.
She's rocking it with pride.
She's rocking
Pride.
the silver. She is the silver foxess. Is there such a thing? Foxette is the thing. The silver fox. The hair. We are talking about going grey, to die or not to die. So go on then, mystery voice. Shout. Come a little closer and tell us what you think, because you are grey.
I've been grey for a long time. 20 years.
20 years.
Wow. When was the first time you started going grey?
When my hair went grey.
Yeah.
But I did dye it.
You did?
Long before I went grey. I had black hair, so I had it bleached to dye it. And then I never dyed it after that.
Okay, and you're happy with that?
Absolutely. It gives me gravitas. Otherwise, people treat me as though I know nothing.
Oh, that's interesting.
We
That
didn't
is
know that.
really interesting, because I started going grey, and you know, for a very long time I was never going to colour my hair, and then somebody suggested, oh come on, let's have a go, and it was a free treatment, so I went and thought, right, and I can't stop now, and you know, the second you get a tiny bit of grey hair, it's like it's time to go to the hairdressers. But it's a really interesting point that our mystery voice makes about how you're treated. Oh, do you think you're treated differently because you're going a little bit grey?
No, I think I'm treated differently because I'm single and don't have kids, so people see me as maybe a little bit odd, yeah. But no, in terms of grey, I've never actually had that. But it's such an interesting point to make that it gives you. But then again, it's also down to because you actually don't look older than about 30, 35 anyway, because you've got amazing skin. So maybe that's what it...
I'm 52.
You don't look it at all.
What are you using?
No, you won't know. You will have no idea what she looks like because she's not on the screen and she is our mystery voice. Anna, what do you think when it comes to dyeing your hair?
Oh my
To
God,
dye or not
I
to
had
dye?
my first grey hair shortly after I finished my PhD. And it was a disaster. I really was not ready for it, so I started plucking them. But then I realised I can't do it forever. So now I think I'm just going to dye them. I think that would be me. But at the same time, I do agree with what you're saying, because in my job I'm quite young for what I'm doing. That I would feel more confident if I looked a bit older.
Okay, so you'd consider not dyeing then?
Yes.
Just to
Depends how
give you that
things go out.
gravitas.
Yes, when I speak to the professors.
That's interesting.
But you know what, though? The thing is, though, does grey hair make you look older? Because there's the recent trend, isn't there, where young girls in their teens and in their mid-20s are dyeing their hair grey. So it's now actually trendy to be grey.
Yeah.
So as women who are, I mean, like I say, it's like maybe it was, any number of reasons to go grey, but as women who are going grey, should we just embrace our greyness and rock it because it's a trend?
I did it because I went grey, and I actually went, okay, I'm not dyeing this because I have a young face, and people used to talk down to me and patronise me, and it's like, I've had enough of this, so it's like, let it go naturally, and it looks all right.
Yeah, no, it does.
I'm like, people take me more and more seriously because I do have something to say, whereas they didn't when I was younger and still had serious things to say. So I think it gives me gravitas.
We're gonna leave it there, I think. Thank you for getting in touch, and apologies if you can't tune in for some reason. Hopefully things are working well at our end, but Lee, who seems to have a few issues with not being able to stream. Jamie, just on the last point about being single and whether that's sort of acceptable. She says, I had a 26-year relationship which sadly didn't work out. Being single over a decade, 52 now, and too set in my ways now to want to compromise in a relationship. There you go. Look, thank you for tuning in. We will be back in a couple of Sundays' time. Don't forget to share the post. Leave your comments after if you're watching this back at any stage. I will pick them up, and so will these two. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Bye.
Bye.